decided not to. I don't see anybody other than cowboy hats. I don't see anybody breaking that protocol. So we're good. Oh, by the way, if people are wondering what the hell we're doing here or where the hell we are at the premiere for the Daily Wire's new movie, Lady Ballers. We were very cryptic on the 500th episode the other day, talking about where we were going to go. I said we were going to North Korea, and people actually believed me on Twitter, but we are here out in Nashville. We're about to see Lady Ballers for the first time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We're here with Billie Rae Brandt, who played an evil seductress and an evil journalist in Jeremy Boring's Lady Ballers. Tell us about your role.
It involved a lot of licking Jeremy's face. We probably did that about, I don't know, between like 60 and 200 times we rehearsed that.
I was really surprised that you had no acting experience because I would have thought you were a career actress. Seriously, it was impressive, but I mean, how did you feel about playing a journalist? Did you have an ethical complication with that?
Yeah, yes, we had a lot of ethical complications with it. I did reconsider the role many times before I agreed to it because it was just so out of my comfort zone. Everything about Gwen was just not me. I consider myself to be a very low-key, shy, traditional-ish person, and it was just so out of my comfort zone.
How long was the process between when you started the prep work to when you actually went live? Like when you actually started recording?
2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was contacted on a Friday through Instagram DMs. They said you have until Monday to send in an audition tape. Monday morning, we procrastinated the entire weekend. I was like, there's no way I'm getting this role. I'm not even gonna send in a tape. Monday morning, I sent in a tape. Monday night, Dallas called and said we might be interested. Tuesday morning, he said fly out to Nashville right now and meet Jeremy.
So it obviously went really well. Can we anticipate seeing you in future projects from the Daily Wire or another studio?
I would definitely work with the Daily Wire again. It was just so much fun. The entire cast and just everybody in production was so easy to work with. It was such a great environment. No drama. Everybody got along. I would totally do it again. I don't think I would ever go Hollywood and act, but I would definitely do something with the Daily Wire again.
So you both directed and acted in this film. So you were basically head honcho, start to finish. How long were the days for you each day?
They truly never ended. Our last day on set, I was there for 20 straight hours. Everybody else was also there an incredibly long time. We watched the sun come up and we still weren't done. The hours when you're making a movie are really rough. The hours on this movie were particularly rough. And then I left the next day, went to Europe, and have been in production for months on our Pendragon cycle adaptation. So I guess I'll just never sleep again.
I have a big question I wanted to ask, and you're the man to ask for this. What did you have to pay Matt Walsh to do a role where he's constantly hugging people?
Well, I didn't tell him that part until he got to set. He's not pretending to be uncomfortable. The guy truly does hate people. He particularly dislikes me. Here's what I'll say about Matt. Matt is genuinely a comic. He thinks about comedy. I mean, the guy has literally been tased for the sake of a joke. Matt's willing to go wherever you need him to go for a joke. And so while it's fun to say that he was uncomfortable with the hugs, and he was, but he didn't hesitate for a second.
But why do you think it is that it is so difficult now for Hollywood to do comedy at all?
Yep. Well, I genuinely think it's because of Barack Obama. I think Barack Obama sort of represents this, he's this singular historic figure where he was more of a religious figure for the left than a political figure. And he essentially said to all of the immune system type professions, journalism, academia, comedians, he said, historically you've seen your role in the world as challenging the status quo, challenging power, speaking truth to power. From now on, you shouldn't make that your identity. Your identity should be to be agents of social change.
So, with this movie, you allowed us to have a moment of levity over this social issue that has been really the bane of our existence for a while now. And I want to know what social issue you're going to create a film about next. And can we expect a Lady Ballers 2?
Well, there's definitely got to be a Lady Ballers 2 because Rosie here is too good an actress not to bring back for another project. But I think Matt has an incredibly funny idea that he's trying to talk us into, and I might just let him twist my arm. And that movie would be, well, I can't possibly say here, can I? I can't possibly
Drop a hint.
Yeah. It may or may not involve zombies.
Oh, I love it already.
Tell everyone who you are and tell them what role you played in the movie.
I am Blaine Crain. I do a sports show called Crain and Company for the Daily Wire, and I am Blair in the movie, also known as the best basketball player on set.
And in it, you are a twin brother.
Yes.
And you have different dads.
Yes.
Is that a real thing?
No, it's not, but maybe in another dimension it might be. You know, if you ever seen Doctor Strange, who knows? There's a bunch of them, a.k.a. David Cohn.
Comedy is not always easy to do, right?
100%.
Because it's always great when you're watching it when it's done, right?
Yeah.
But being funny on command isn't easy.
No, it is not. And it kind of helps with what we do. We do a live show every morning, so we're acting every morning. I would say probably the physical stuff was the hardest thing to do. We got thrown through multiple tables throughout the entire set. I separated my shoulder twice. You know, so I would say the physical stuff. Other than that, you know, it's somewhat it came naturally because like it's mostly me, my brother, and David.
Do you know what this means, right? We need the brothers to have their own solo spin-off film.
That's what, you know, look, I've been hearing a whisper in the wind. To be honest, the birds are out there chirping that there might be one.
It's time to franchise.
Look, that's what I'm saying.
That's where the money
Let's
is
make a
these days.
dynasty out of this thing, man.
What's up? My name is Jake Crain. I play Jake Crain, aka Jack in the movie, and I'm a better skateboarder than Tim will ever be.
Oh.
That's cap. I'm terrible at skateboarding.
Oh, you're a better skateboarder than Tim. Are you better than your brother at basketball?
Yeah, listen, he's gonna come in here to lie to y'all. He's 6'4", all right, but mentally he's 4'6". I run circles around him, falls for every pump fake. There's a reason I'm the oldest one, the smartest one, and the best looking one.
What scene in the final product surprised you and how well it did?
Well, it was crazy because I actually hadn't seen the movie until tonight. All I saw was the trailer. The one that probably surprised me the most, I would say just how heartfelt I thought the scene with Jeremy was with his daughter in the locker room. You know, you get a lot of slapstick comedy out of it, and that's great. That's what it's meant to do. It's one thing to mock something. It's another thing to mock something that should be mocked, but then there's a message that can unify everybody.
What sport should they cover next in the next Daily Wire?
Listen, I'd always love an excuse to play golf. You know, maybe it's men competing against women in golf. I don't know. Maybe pickleball, right? That's hot right now.
Pickleball is huge right now.
It's hotter than Hansel at the Male Model Awards right now.
I feel like it would be good, it would be very easy to do a certain type of slapstick comedy with pickleball.
100%. Big paddles, short courts. Need I say more?
When you founded the Daily Wire, did you envision opportunities like this arising?
Yes. So when Jeremy and I built the Daily Wire, we did so with the explicit intent to one day be able to foray into broader media culture. So it started off as a marketing company that did politics, but the idea was to build a machine large enough to support all sorts of content that just was not in the marketplace. And so, yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said that this wasn't part of our original vision together. It absolutely was.
Okay, be real with us then. Why is this movie important?
It's important because literally no one else will make it. I mean, this is one of the things that Jeremy and I discussed when he was pitching the film, is that we should be doing the kinds of film that no one else will make. And laughter is a really important weapon. The left has used it to insanely positive effect for their side, laughing at everything remotely right-wing, mocking that stuff and making it unpalatable. The right has left that off the table, and it's such a mistake because so much of the left-wing agenda is laughable and silly and foolish, and treating it seriously gives it a seriousness it doesn't deserve. The idea that men can be women and can compete against women is inherently silly. The proper response to that is to laugh at it. It's not to actually take it seriously, it's to mock it. And so I think we did that here, and we're proud of the fact that we did.
So was tonight the first time you saw the film in full?
This is the first time I saw the film in full.
And what was your first impression of everything?
Because the production was so short, I thought initially there was no way they could do a good job here. But they totally did. I thought all of the actors, or really the lack of actors, right? These people weren't actually actors, but they did a phenomenal job.
Okay, do you think that this is just the beginning of a burgeoning acting career for you after your sports career?
Yeah, watch out. I'm going to be an actress, actually. Sorry for the gender exclusive language there. No way. You know, I am totally not my wheelhouse. I would not survive in Hollywood, that's for sure. But I'm hoping the Daily Wire.
This was obviously a piece of satire, but there were some more serious moments that are a little more emotional. When you saw it, did you feel that it spoke true to your experience?
Absolutely. Again, it was like watching a playback of my time competing against a male athlete. I'll tell you the two pieces that I felt pretty emotional at was one, watching when the Lady Ballers first decided they were going to compete as women. And we saw Clay Travis. He was the one coach in the film who stood up and said, no, this is ridiculous, and they kicked him out. And that kind of made me emotional because of this whole satirical movie that's supposed to be an exaggeration. That one piece was the piece that actually didn't happen in real life. We didn't have a coach stand up for us. So I felt pretty emotional watching that. And of course, when Jeremy was having the conversation with his daughter, Winnie.
With all the stunts and everything, they said that everybody basically had to get in really, really good shape to go do this movie. Were there injuries on set?
I broke a finger in pre-production right here, this finger here. I lost 30 pounds in pre-production trying to get in basketball shape for this movie. Weight that honestly I probably should have never put on in the first place, but now in my new profession of sitting down and talking about sports rather than playing sports, somehow I put on that weight.
Was this your first time seeing it all the way through?
This was my first time seeing anything other than the trailer.
What scene in this movie surprised you the most? What was most heartfelt?
Mr. Andrew Clavin, for sure. I mean, when you see Mr. Andrew Clavin on screen, you stop and you pay attention.
Andrew Clavin, everybody. He has a quick cameo in the movie and one singular, incredibly emotionally impactful line. Would you please repeat it for us?
Absolutely not. First of all, you don't look like you're of a majority. You don't look like you're 18 years old, so I don't want to say this in front of you.
I swear, I'm an adult. I'm a 23-year-old woman. You can say this line in front of me. Just do it.
No, never. I would never.
Okay, I guess that's a spoiler. You have to see the movie for yourself if you want to hear him say the line. I promise it's worth it. Be honest. Did you have to practice it in the mirror?
No,
Or maybe practice it?
I think when they cast me as a cranky old man spewing obscenities, it was such typecasting that it just came to me naturally.
Did you come up with it yourself?
No, it was in the script.
Okay, because I was going to say, get your mind out of the gutter. Yeah. Was tonight the first time you saw the film in full?
Absolutely, yes. I had
Okay.
I didn't even know what I was. I mean, I vaguely knew what I was looking at, but I didn't know totally the whole scene.
Well, give me your first impressions. How do you feel?
I thought it was funny and silly and kind of liberating because they're just saying things that everybody already knows, but we're not allowed to say.
Did you struggle with moral qualms about being in a movie with cross-dressing men?
It goes deeper than that. I have moral qualms about acting. Because I was an actor earlier in my wayward youth, and there is a reason that actors were lumped in with prostitutes and criminals for most of human history, and it's because acting, if you're going to do acting and be convincing in it, you have to live truthfully in imaginary circumstances, and you have to not only mimic the behavior of the character, but you need to cultivate the desires of that character, which is to warp your own will and potentially to warp your own soul.
What do you predict is next for the Daily Wire? What's their next move, and are you going to be involved?
If Ben Shapiro has any say, I will not be involved. But you know what I foresee? After Friends, we got the Joey spinoff. Well, that's actually a bad example. After All in the Family, we got the Jeffersons. After Cheers, we got Frasier. And so after Lady Ballers, I think we need Drake. I think we need the Drake Diamond biopic. And I'm
dying to know his backstory.
The people are begging. They're clamoring for it, and I would be willing to give the people what they want.